I'm gonna try this just because I have to. I don't know if we have the front end clearance, but we'll see what happens here. No! No way! This truck is straight up in the air! Oh my gosh! Look at the dirt behind me! Look at that! The Sidekick is amazing! On today's episode of Watch JR Go, we work on the 1998 Suzuki Sidekick Sport JLX. Ultra limited, leather interior, has tires. I just figured it needed some more extra acronyms on it or something. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch JR Go, and today we are here with the Suzuki Sidekick Sport, and we have some packages that just showed up. So we're gonna open them up, figure out what we've got. The only thing I know that we're missing so far is the new front struts, because those we're gonna ship out way later. So I figured, why don't we try to get this thing fixed, get this check engine light turned off, and just see how it runs. Because right now it runs very rich and it blows through fuel. Just the trip to Newton and back was probably a quarter tank, which doesn't make any sense in a car that's supposed to get some pretty epic gas mileage. Before we start wrenching on the broken Sidekick, I need to take a second to tell you guys about the sponsor for all of the Sidekick Sport episodes, Slick Wraps. Slick Wraps makes awesome wraps for almost any consumer electronics device you can come up with. Your iPhone, I've got the transparent skin on there. I said it once for the first time ever in the series. This is the transparent. It looks like the inside of an iPhone. Really, really cool. And it's a full device wrap. You can see it goes all the way around, even covers the camera, all that good stuff. They also make wraps for almost any popular consumer electronics device. So almost every iPhone, every MacBook, I mean, if you can think of it, if it's popular, they probably have a wrap for the device you're rocking. The Apple Watch, MacBooks, it doesn't matter. They make a ton of wraps and they're super high quality. You can see this one's been on here for weeks, and they'll help you personalize your phone exactly the way you want. You can even upload your own image and they'll print it on a skin and you can wrap your own device. So head on over to slickwraps.com, find something you like, personalize your device, have some fun, and let's get back to the Sidekick. Here's our first shipment of parts that showed up today. That was actually faster than I even imagined. Honestly, I think the O2 sensors will take the longest because we have to figure out what's going on with the one that's cut, with the one that somebody randomly sabotaged. Make sure these part numbers are different there. We got a 250-24-399 and a 250-24-049. I'll throw links to these in the description below. All in, all the parts to fix this thing were about $85 shipped. So that was crazy cheap. And I didn't even need the PCV, but I figured why not put a brand new one in? It's got some miles on it, and I'm sure the plugs are fouled from running crazy rich. I'm sure you guys know my plan. It's do the easiest thing first, which is probably this PCV valve. So super small, super easy. It is kind of hidden behind the strut brace, which is a little bit of an annoyance, but no big deal. Slide this clamp back here, give this a wiggle. Got our PCV out of our valve cover. Ooh, that did not work well. I will get this old rotten thing out of here, don't worry. And now all we have to do is slide in the new PCV and put our hose on it. The coil packs in the Sidekick Sport are held down with an 8, so be prepared for that, because you'll probably be sitting there with a 10, wondering why you can't get these things off. No big deal. A couple seconds of work should get all 4 coils out of here. Just about done. And then carefully unplug these, because you don't want to break these connectors, and I bet they're brittle. There's one. No oil down in the well, that looks good. Still no oil. Another good sign. Another good one. Still good, no oil. Awesome, let's get the plugs out of here. These are NGK Iridiums and they're recent, but they are black. Completely black. Those do not look like good combustion. No wonder she's wet. Smell like gas. That one's actually, that plug is wet. Well, we're gonna get rid of these Iridiums, put some Platinums in it, because that's what I picked up, assuming that it shouldn't be better than Platinum based on the age. New spark plugs installed. We're gonna put our coil packs in exactly the order they came out. So, I stacked them up in order, shouldn't be any big deal here. We'll start by finding an O2 sensor socket that fits these things. It's basically this 22mm every single time. Sometimes you run into a random one that needs a special sensor socket, but for the most part, you just grab the 22 and go to work. O2 sensor pro tip, soak it with knocker loose. Honestly, this one should be extremely easy as long as nobody like rounded it off or something crazy. We're just gonna gloss over the jack handle extension I used to get that thing loose. It was very tight. I had a lot of force on a jack handle, which is it's a heck of a lever. So this thing is turning freely now, and it seems like it should come right out. I say freely, but it's not exactly loose. Victory! Whoa! Look at that. I don't know what happened to this O2 sensor, but that's melted, and this looks like it got attacked by a grinder. Whoa! Got our connector off of there, so that can go in the trash along with the old one, and then we'll put our copper anti-seize on here and put this thing back in. Quick and easy. I'm sure there's a factory torque spec, and I'll try to follow that instead of making this terrible for the next person to work on this. 35 foot-pounds on the torque wrench. Let's get this going. There we go, torque down to 35, and we have an O2 sensor reinstalled. So, hooking it up. Testing time. We still have our O2 sensor codes here, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear those real fast. Clear DTCs. I don't care. There we go, the light is off. All right, this thing will jump back in and start reading again, and we'll see if that comes back. 0 DTCs. Coolant temp coming up. The question here is oxygen sensor. Look at that. These appear to be good signs. The truck still smells pig rich, but I think it needs a little time to adjust. I should probably do a battery pull and reset everything. Negative battery terminal disconnected, and now time to open up our new sensor. Crawl underneath. I'm gonna jack the truck up a little bit so I have some access. Just as it is right now, I can see the sensor and I already sprayed it with knocker loose, but I'm gonna lift it up a little bit so I can hang out on the creeper and just enjoy my life. Going in here. Here we are up underneath the Sidekick. As you can see, that's where the O2 sensor enters the cabin itself right there. And right here, there's a little clip for the wire. We can go ahead and unclip that. And the O2 sensor itself. There's another clip over here. There we go, got that thing off. The replacement comes with a new boot and everything, so don't worry too much if you hurt that. And then try to pull the connector out here. Of course, the harness for that rear O2 sensor comes up through the body and then goes under the carpet. And I was like, this is annoying, but let's just get it done. I was about to unbolt the seat and pull this trim and pull the carpet back and get this thing fixed. And then I was like, oh look, there's that seatbelt harness there. And that's probably for SRS and the seatbelt detection. Look at that hole, there's probably more wires down in there. All you have to do is reach down in that hole, fish out those wires, and there is your OBD sensor connector. That only ended up taking about 30 seconds to get out, much better than the half hour I probably would have spent getting all of the interior out. So now, I would recommend tying some string on there so you can get all the wires fished back through. I'm gonna tie some string on mine, pull it back through the body after I disconnect it, and then we're home free. Heading back underneath the Sidekick now where we have our rope hooked up there, a little bit of nylon line. And now we'll just loosen up this slip knot and hook the new one on after I get this unbolted, pull in the new sensor. I spoke too soon. Getting that sensor out took about 30 minutes. First, I ended up cutting the wires because I couldn't get the notch one on there to get any purchase on the O2 sensor. And then this one actually works really well, the 12 point, but it started spinning because I had to have a jack handle on the end of the ratchet. And where I ended up here, these things are all like smoking hot. I'm gonna kind of be careful. Oh, that's gonna melt right through this, I bet. I ended up using the hot wrench, got the torch under there, and I had to heat it up for about, I don't know, 10 minutes straight, and that was enough to get this loose. It probably had 0 anti-seize on it, and the amount of dirt that fell out of that, whew, insane. So that thing was all carboned up. I think we'll get this new one in, and it'll run like a champ. So time for some anti-seize, time to put it back on correctly. We'll torque it to spec instead of burying it, and then we're gonna get this thing out on the road and have some fun. And jackpot, look at that. Got it connected, now we just shove that back down into the void, and it'll disappear. All that's left is snapping our boot back in here to make sure it's all weatherproof. There it goes, 3 snaps. She's in. O2 sensor replacement that took way longer than it should have. Fuel pump crash. I will say it's not running rich anymore. It smells perfect. So I'm ready to get this thing out on the road. Yeah, that's my rock move right there. We are heading off into my top secret off-road park here. We'll test out the four-wheel drive a little bit. Everything looks pretty good right now. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Time for a little four-wheel drive. Locked. Large hill. This thing takes it in stride. All right, the next question is, can we get right back up it through these huge ruts? Wheeling, baby! All right, Sidekick, you have proven yourself to me. Oh my gosh. It's really good. I mean, this is on street tires and it's super comfortable on road. And here I am off road and like my head's almost hitting the ceiling every once in a while and it's still super comfortable. I'm gonna try this just because I have to. I don't know if we have the front end clearance, but we'll see what happens here. No! No way! This truck is straight up in the air! Oh my gosh! Look at the dirt behind me! We are literally... I don't know if we have the oil for this, but I gotta take a picture. Oh gosh! How do you get out? Look at that! The Sidekick is amazing! Holy crap, I hope I can back down from this. All right, let's get back in. Oh gosh! We are in 4 low and also low, so creeping around in here. I knew I wouldn't be able to get up that in just plain old drive here. Right around in D2, it's the sequel to Drive. Well, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I think the next time you see the Sidekick, we're gonna take it up to maybe like Disney and try to do a little rock crawling with it. I think we've got just enough ground clearance, and those rocks are just one of my favorite places to play, up in Disney, Oklahoma, where they have the yearly rock crawling competition. There's plenty of moderate routes that we can take this thing out on and not tear it up. So, don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjargo.com where you can get cool shirts like this. And please, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time.